We're back for another episode of the Training Diaries. And yes, I'm still wearing the same t-shirt because I'm just filming this one straight after filming the other one. But I thought, let's get it out of the way. Let's do a lake special because we're here at the MAC. What does the MAC stand for? It's the Milnerton Aquatic Club. I'm guessing this is the MAC. So like I say, if you've been to Cape Town, you would have drove past this lake if you haven't sailed here. But it is a freestyle hotspot. All the best guys in the world are training on this lake. It's also becoming a bit of a slalom hotspot. So we've got a few of the boys coming over. We've got Andrea Rosati. He's been doing some tuning here. And we've got Andy Laufer. Yes, Andy Laufer, 5 years out from windsurfing, but he is coming back strong. We've also got Mitch Wagstaff of Bay Graphics, who are co-sponsoring the Training Diaries here in Cape Town. And there is a little bit of a speed sesh going on at the moment. There's a GPS speed event. So if you're here in Cape Town, you want to throw down some speeds, you can get on the GPS site and enter in that competition. I think top dog at the moment could be Andy Laufer. Andrea Rosati's been getting a little bit of a stick from Laufer because he's not using the right GPS. I don't know what these boys are on about, but apparently it's a bit faster, his one. But I think the top speed on this lake at the moment is about 38 knots, give or take. I know Mitch has done high 36s, so pretty close. I was down in the 34s, 35s, and yes, you did hear that right. I've been out there on the slalom gear. We've got actually got a new slalom board simmer at the moment, and I have to say it is tasty. We sort of nicked the old RRD shaper, and he's jumped over and he's designing us a few slalom boards, and they are absolutely sick. So yes, Mr. Proffitt might be donning the old slalom gear this year. Let's watch this space. But like I say, if you want to come down here to Cape Town, you can go blasting at the lake and you can do some speed challenges. They also do racing every one weekend in a month or something like that. I'm not sure, but you can come down here, join the sailing club. Usually have a temporary membership, and it is definitely worth doing. But if you're a freestyler, this is where the majority of the training goes on. Now, back in the day when I used to do freestyle here at the lake, we'd be trying to find the flattest spot, which is kind of round the corner behind there in a bit of a wind shadow. It was a bit kind of rubbish, and we'd end up just killing ourselves trying to do a spock or something. These boys I've just totally changed everything because I come back here and they're like in the choppiest bit ever, just doing massive, massive power moves. And freestyle has really moved on. I mean, how these freestylers, I mean, I don't mean to rub it in, but they're the kind of the lowest paid windsurfers. But when you see what they're doing and how much they're just killing themselves, you just think, my God, they are really pushing the sport. And I think they definitely deserve up the pay rise a little bit. Come on, boys. But like I said, let's talk about names. Let's put some names in the mix. Now, Steven van Broeckhoven, an ex-freestyle world champion, didn't have his best year on the PWA Tour last year. I think he finished 8th, which, you know, for Van Broeckhoven standards is not good. But PWA Tour, there's not many events. You don't get a discard, and that has massive implications if you have one bad result. But let's not do him any injustice because he has got the level to be another, you know, to get another world title. He actually won the EP2 as well, so he's still got the level. But when you're watching him here on the lake, oh my God, the fella just goes off. And we're going to start off with that big move. I had it as move of the day the other day on Windsurfing.TV, but the double air culo. Now, Amado Vrieswijk, he sort of has owned this move for a bit now, but the boys are catching up. Steven van Broeckhoven, he obviously had a few practice runs, but he absolutely stomped this one. I mean, just listen to the board hitting the water. Oh, boom. Whew. So yeah, Steven van Broeckhoven, he's getting that move down. Yentel Caers as well. I saw him flying around a couple of double air culos as well. So those boys are pushing hard. And rumour has it, I spoke to Dieter van Dijken the other day, there's no wind in Bonaire. So these boys here have the advantage at the moment. But we've only 2 freestyle events on the PWA Tour this year, and it doesn't start till July, let's say. They've got a little bit of catching up time. So Steven van Broeckhoven busting out the moves. I mean, he's got this super spin. It was like Kiritoda's super spin. I think he did something on the inside and just carried on spinning about 3 or 4 times round. And the local boys, you can see like the old boys who are just cruising up and down, like just shaking their head going, what did he just do? It's quite a classic. But also, you know, just big sort of air cabbies or, you know, scopus and these sort of moves, they're just busting them out like they're nothing. Even, you know, coming in really close to the beach. And I think Van Broeckhoven ended up harvesting about half a field of weed on this last one. I mean, just comes in, he's so close there. Also, he did a move that I sort of invented. I felt like I invented a few years ago in El Tour, doing a bit of freestyle. I say a few years ago, about 20 years ago. But switch stance through the rig, and then the mast goes one side, you fall the other, and you kind of get trapped in a drowning position. And I nearly drowned, no joke, in the most stupidest way possible. Stuck in the straps, face down, mast on it. Steve Van Broeckhoven, I saw him do the same move. Lucky he only had one foot in the strap, but you could see, if he had both feet in the strap, he'd be in a pretty precarious position. So Steve Van Broeckhoven nearly drowned a bit late the other day. Who else have we got? Well, we can't go, you know, too far when we mention in freestyle. We've got to mention Balz Muller. He is, to me, Mr. Freestyle. You know, freestyle is about freestyle, and this kid just, that is him. Even just going into the water. I mean, check out the sprint on the fella. So Balz Muller enters the water the other day, and I was kind of saying to yourself, like, maybe I should ask everyone at home, what is going to be his first move? What's his first move? So he's going out, he's running down, goes out, flying on. You're thinking, okay, what's going to be his move? What's that? Cheese roll. Oh yes, check the cheese roll. And he was busting these cheese rolls out. So he's been putting the work in on the cheese rolls. Full planing, off chop. I'm liking him. And then I'm wondering why he's doing all these cheese rolls. Then he said, oh, he's got this new move, cheese roll into Shaka. I was like, oh, I saw him try a couple. And then I see online the other day on Instagram, he busts out the new move, the cheesy Vulcan. I'm not sure what he's calling it, but that's what I'm calling it. The cheese roll into Vulcan. Nic Hibdige filming it on the GoPro. I mean, the guy is kind of inventing new moves the other day. I did see him try and claim the switch stance back loop, but sorry, Balz, I did that move back in the early 2000s. So it's not a new move, but it's good to see him bringing it back. And I think he's bringing it back because he sees different connotations off that move, which I think will be cool. Steve Van Broeckhoven mentioned sort of that the other day. But okay, Yentel Caers, let's go on to him. So Yentel Caers, one of the new kids pushing through, and he is pushing so hard at the moment. He's got new sponsors this year. He's gone off Neil Pride onto 0.7. A few people saying, is that a good move? Will he still be able to do the tricks? Well, check these out. Yes, yes, yes. As you can see, he can still do the tricks. I mean, I'm just going to put a montage of some of the moves he was busting out the other day. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, just check. It's like, I think it was, what was it, air scopu or scope into, just crazy stuff down the wave face and just massive konos where he flips the rig on the way down. I mean, he's got pretty much everything. Going for shifties on the lake. I actually missed his couple of good ones, but he's got those as well. But, you know, when you're pushing that hard, you're going to have some big crashes. Yes, you are. And Yentel Caers was having some big stacks. I mean, just kit blowing up, just taking off, blowing off. You can see how windy it was. It was so windy the other day for freestyle, but these boys were going down hard. He's got his missus here, Fumagazi. She's obviously a windsurfer, but she took time out to film the other day, so she was in the water. That was good to see. Who else have we got? We've got Phil Salty Sack from Canada. Obviously, he hangs around with Steve Van Broeckhoven. Those two joined at the hip most times, but he's been Mr. Consistent as usual. He likes the big forward, but he's got all the scopus, he's got every move as well, but he is always up there on the world tour, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. And we've got a couple of the new guys pushing through, one of them from the UK, Nic Hibdige. Now, name maybe a lot of the guys at home probably not even heard of. You think of British freestyle, Max Rowe, you think of Andy Bubble Chambers, these old boys come through, but Nic Hibdige, I tell you what, this kid, well, let me start off. This kid didn't start off very well. Ouch. I think I'm not saying I don't want to spread rumours, but I think he'd had a few drinks the night before, because he started off a little bit slow and he looked like he was getting a bit annoyed with himself, and he knew I was filming, no doubt, and he's probably got all his moves. He's thinking, oh my God, and he was having a total mare, but it was quite funny to watch. I said, Nick, come on. He came in, had a drink. I said, you go back out there and go and bust out what you know you can do. He went back out there, killing it. So there you go, Nic Hibdige. He's got the double culos. He's got pretty much everything. Really nice style as well, like one hands, and just really good flow to his sailing. I think his parents got a house over in Bonaire, doing a lot of training there, and now he's hanging out with the Muller with Balz. It's just got to be a dangerous thing. I heard he cut his Balz' hair the other day, so I don't think Nick's a total innocent party in this duo. But Nic Hibdige, watch out for that name. He's sailing good at the moment. Antoine from New Caledonia, he's on the Goya stuff. Not something you associate with freestyle, but tell you what, the gear seems to be working, or he is making it work. No-handed, he was like doing the eagle burners, or whatever you want to call them, like quite a classic. So Antoine, he was busting out some big tricks as well, big konos as well, but likes the no-handed stuff. So watch out for him. We had Marker as well from Italy. He's liking the old air scopu, as far as I can remember. It's so many blooming moves, names of these moves. Well, blah, 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 blah. I think Scopus, I seem to remember him busting out a few, and he also had some big stacks. Have I forgot anyone from that session? No, I don't think I have forgot anyone from that session, but we will bringing you more freestyle updates. I'm tempted to do a challenge. I think they do it in the mountain biking, they do it in other sports where you play spot or you play trick and you have to get a letter in. When you crash, you get a letter and the last man standing. Maybe we'll do something like that on Windsurfing.TV, depending. Leave us a message in the comments. I'm going to try and read out some comments in the next one. Give us some likes. And obviously, you can chuck in some beer money if you want to support Windsurfing.TV and everything that's going on here. And don't forget, if you're in Cape Town and you want car hire, check out Kennings, because it is the truck and backy car hire. This is what you want. You want to be rolling around in style. You don't want to be messing around in the Beetle or the Rent-A-Cheapie. Go to Kennings, get yourself a beautiful truck, and we can cruise round. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. So the next time we do the training diaries, it's going to be a wave session. We might chuck in a bit of freestyle, but we're going to have a wave session. We might be going up north. I'm not going to give too much away, but there is some swell coming. Stay tuned, Windsurfing.TV.